the heart of the Quad Cities. You're watching our Quad Cities News at 5:30 on Local 4.
Good evening from Rock Island. Thanks for sticking with us this beautiful Sunday evening. Another great one outside around our Quad Cities area. Let's hear more about what's to come from our meteorologist, Brian James.
Happy Sunday to you. I'm meteorologist Brian James. Another beautiful day today across the area. Look at these temperatures right now, upper 60s to right around 70 degrees. What a fabulous weekend. And we continue this weather as we go into the upcoming week. Iowa City 71, Princeton at 70, Burlington 71, and around the Quad Cities currently 70 degrees as well. A few scattered fair weather clouds, not much more than that. Fantastic afternoon and evening ahead of us, although it is going to be a little bit chilly as we start the day on Monday. Take a look at the planner for overnight tonight, going from the upper 60s back to the low 50s by tomorrow morning. Some upper 40s certainly possible as well. Talk about the rest of the forecast coming up. Back to you.
Welcome temperatures ahead. Thanks, Brian. Well, in Texas, Republicans have passed legislation to redraw the state's congressional map to give the party a 5-seat edge during next year's midterm elections. Meanwhile, California Democrats planning to do the same thing to offset those gains by Texas. Christian Benavidez reports.
House Bill 4 is finally passed.
The Texas legislature has given final approval to new congressional maps designed to give Republicans an additional 5 seats in the House of Representatives for the 2026 midterms. Republican Governor Greg Abbott plans to sign the legislation as soon as it reaches his desk.
There were voters that were trapped in Democrat congressional districts who voted for Republicans for president and other offices. So we had the legal authority to be able to draw the new maps to empower voters to have the candidate of their choice.
President Trump celebrated the vote, calling it a huge victory for our America First agenda. But Democrats in Texas plan to challenge the legality of the new map, saying it dilutes the voting power of minorities.
Tell us whether or not there was any analysis by the top-notch lawyers as it relates to discriminatory effects of this particular map.
And I have confidence in that analysis is that this map complies with all applicable law.
And in California, Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom is now pushing a plan to redraw its own map to favor Democrats.
They took an action in Texas and we're responding to it.
A new poll shows 48% of Californians backing Governor Newsom's plan to redraw maps. 32% oppose it, with 20% undecided. Christian Benavidez, CBS News.
The Pentagon is planning military deployment to more major cities, including Chicago. The Washington Post reports military officials have been working on this plan for weeks, and if it happens, it would further expand the president's use of military force across the country. Right now, more than 2,200 National Guard members are deployed in Washington, D.C. to reduce crime. But violent crime rates in D.C. and Chicago are down. The president has a broad authority to call up the Guard in the nation's capital, but is very limited to do so in any state. The Washington Post reports Trump will justify the Chicago plan by saying it's in conjunction with expanded operations by ICE searching for undocumented immigrants. Postal services across the globe are suspending shipments to the United States due to lack of clarity over new import duties. Packages worth less than $800 were able to come into the U.S. duty-free, but the tariff exemption expires Friday. Postal services in Germany, Denmark, Sweden, Italy, and Australia say they will stop shipping most merchandise to the U.S. immediately. France, Austria, South Korea, and India will follow suit Monday. The U.K. will halt shipments on Tuesday. Here's a traffic alert from Moline. On Monday, crews will start repairing 34th Street. Construction goes from University Drive through 4th Avenue. According to a news release, they're going to upgrade underground utilities, sidewalks, and the 4th Avenue traffic light. That work expected to last through December. Well, in less than a month, downtown Davenport welcomes the 40th Mississippi Valley Blues Fest at LeClaire Park. We're learning about some of these artists in the coming weeks until that first note strums September 19th. Our very own Eric Olson introduces us to Dustin Arbuckle and the Damnations.
My name is Dustin Arbuckle. I front Dustin Arbuckle and the Damnations. We're a 4-piece blues and kind of electrified Americana band. We've toured North America and Europe and continue to release new music and try to grow and move forward.
If you search for Dustin Arbuckle and the Damnations on YouTube or your favorite music app, you'll find tracks like Across the Desert. Arbuckle's harmonica, a powerful part of their sound.
1,000 miles, but I feel like I've just begun.
I was talking with my dad about it, and he said, well, you got to play something. You can't just be a singer. Which, I mean, is not true, but I thought it was good advice at the time, and it was. And so my decision to try harmonica first was based entirely around the fact that it's like, well, it's a lot cheaper to buy one than it is a guitar.
But you can't have just one.
When I'm on the road at any given show, I probably have about 20 with me.
Dustin played the Mississippi Valley Blues Festival years ago with a previous act, and he's looking forward to coming back to the Quad Cities.
You know, there's a good fan base for the kind of music that we like to play there.
Now I've tried everything I know indeed.
Eric Olson, our Quad Cities News.
And you can check out tickets on the Blues Society website, mvbs.org. A 2-day pass is $37. Individual day passes for that Friday or Saturday, $22 for each day.
Now, your local pinpoint forecast.
Happy Sunday to you. I'm meteorologist Brian James. Fantastic weather ahead of us for most of the week ahead. Comfortable temperatures, a little bit below normal. Really a beautiful week. Temperatures will stay very comfortable for most of the week ahead. And it looks like as we head through the latter part of the week, there will be a low chance for a couple of showers, but really looking for a dry, pleasant forecast for most of the week ahead. Mix of low 70s on Monday, and Tuesday, mid 70s. Still mostly sunny and still very nice out there. Air is going to be dry and comfortable during the morning, even a little bit on the cool side. Temperatures upper 60s to right around 70. Tipton at 69, same thing in Sterling. Galesburg right now at 70 degrees, and across the region mostly a mix of 70s, some 60s to the north. Green Bay 63, Alpena 63, Indianapolis at 73, same thing in Des Moines. Minneapolis at 67 degrees. Here's what we have going on right now. A few fair weather clouds, but overall a mostly clear skies. A few more clouds, a couple isolated showers across parts of Lake Michigan into the central part of the lower peninsula, but outside of that, there's not a whole lot to see in the area. Things are pretty quiet. Look at the week ahead. We should be in the low 80s this time of year. The normal high is coming down. It was 84 yesterday, 83 today. But look at these temperatures. Low 70s tomorrow, mid to upper 70s to around 80 as we go through the rest of the week into the weekend and for next week as well. What a great stretch of weather. And the rain chances will stay low. A little bit of a bump as we head toward the latter part of the weekend where there might be a couple of isolated showers, but even then we're keeping the rain chances about 20% or less. So here's what we have going on for tonight. Futurecast showing the mainly clear sky that we have through the overnight hours. Just a few mid and high clouds scooting on by. Temperatures back into the upper 40s to start the day on Monday. As we go through Monday afternoon, looking for temperatures back in the low 70s with a mostly sunny sky. Northwest winds will stay light, about 5 to 10, maybe upwards of 15 miles an hour, and that's going to be it. So go through Monday night, early Tuesday, clear as a bell, back to the upper 40s to start the day again on Tuesday. And then by Tuesday afternoon, we're back into the mid 70s with a few more scattered fair weather clouds developing in the heat of the afternoon, but even then, it's not going to be that hot. Got a great stretch of weather coming up over the next roughly week or so, 10 days. Yeah, we'll go all the way out to the middle part of next week before we see things start to even warm up even a little more. For tonight, look at these low temperatures. Open up the windows, let some of that fresh air in, upper 40s to around 50 with a clear to mostly clear sky. Winds will be light from the northwest, around 5 to 10 miles an hour. For the day tomorrow, mostly sunny sky, high temperatures, low 70s across the board. It really doesn't get much better than this. Northwest winds around 5 to 15 miles an hour through most of the day. Get out there and soak up some fantastic sunshine. Yeah, I know you got to go back to work and school, but you know what? It's still going to be a really nice week. So even after work, after school, you still got a nice stretch of weather. Over the next 7 days, low to mid 70s for Monday, Tuesday, upper 70s to around 80 for the rest of the week into the weekend, and some low rain chances do start to creep back in by Thursday, and then do continue with low rain chances over the weekend too. Back to you.
And now, local sports on our Quad Cities News.
We are less than a week away from kicking off the high school football season in the Quad Cities. As Evan Denton explains over at Brady Street Stadium, there is a lot of enthusiasm flowing with the Davenport Central program.
Everybody wants to work and everybody wants to win this season. Energy and excitement levels are high at Davenport Central practice.
Everyone wants the same thing. We all want to win, all want to get above 500. This year, especially compared to the last couple of years, we are a really tight-knit group.
The Blue Devils are looking to improve from last year's 2-7 record.
We have 25 seniors, which is a big veteran group that we have, but then also a good 25 underclassmen, sophomores and juniors. Just excited to see how they mix together, bringing some experience back, but also some young guys that are very athletic that just haven't played varsity yet, trying to see how they can mold together.
Not bad, not bad. Davenport Central players have worked during the offseason on holding each other accountable.
We have a leadership council. There's a bunch of us on it. We usually have meetings like that, and we all talk about it, and there's a bunch of goals we have to bring up this team and then just make them better as a person in general for the future.
Championship teams have player-led leadership, right? Like our job as coaches is to prepare them, but they're the ones that have to do the work. So in regards to holding people accountable, showing up on time, working hard, taking coaching, I'm seeing it a lot more this year from our guys, which is really cool.
The Blue Devils are looking forward to showing off their offseason work in Week 1 against Dubuque Senior.
Each day our staff is incredible. We're working together to get things done, and I'm really excited to finally get back on the field. I think the guys are starting to feel it.
In Davenport, Evan Denton, our Quad City Sports.
Series finale, River Bandits and the Great Lake Loons at Modern Woodmen Park. Bandits bats coming out hot. Leadoff hitter Nolan Sailors dropping one into center and then steals second right away, and that sets up the next batter, second baseman Sam Kulasingam, taking it to the opposite field, just over the third baseman's head. Sailors getting waved around using that speed and makes it home. 2 hits, 1 run, and a Bandits lead. Bottom 3 Sailors putting on the Jets again. Liner hops over the first baseman's glove, racing to second. It's a double, and later scores on a sac fly. 2-1 Bandits. Bottom 4 third baseman Trevor Warner taking one deep to left, 7th on the year, solo shot. Bandits hang on for the win, 4-3. White Sox and Twins from the south side. Catcher Kyle Teal with a big game, starting it off here in the bottom of the first. RBI single through the right side, 1-0 Sox. The line keeps on moving. The DH, Edgar Caro, up the middle. 2 more runs come home to score. That makes it 3-0 White Sox. Bottom of the second, Teal, what a game for him. He's going to add another RBI here, dropping one into left, make it 4-0 White Sox. Continuing the bottom of the second, shortstop Colson Montgomery continues to rake. 3rd straight game with a home run. This one a 2-run shot to right, makes it 7-0 White Sox. The White Sox go on to win big, 8-0. Cubs and Cardinals still in action. The Cubs up 4-3 out west against the Angels, 4-3. And the Cardinals down 7-1 out in Tampa to the Rays, 7-1. Iowa State football once again clutched down the stretch, winning Farmageddon for the 6th time in 8 years, 24-21 over Kansas State. Cyclones using the ground game, rushing for 107 yards in the second half, followed by aggressive play calling, a 6-minute final drive and a late 4th down conversion icing the game. ISU coming home from Ireland with a nice trophy and some happy faces.
Yeah, I think it's the culture that we have, the connectedness and the togetherness that we have as a team, and the confidence that we have in one another. I think it's what's been able to help us win games throughout the past couple of years. And there's never a doubt in the game. Whenever we're down, whenever we're up, that we're not going to win. I think everybody has a sense of urgency that we're going to win this game and we're going to make the play, the big play that needs to be made. And I think that's why we're all together until the end. Until that the clock strikes 0.
I said this, and hopefully, if I make anybody mad, I really don't care. So I think we're set up for failure because I think this is the hardest schedule in the country. And the reality of it is, we go home and we play an incredible South Dakota team that's coming in, and they had a great year. You're talking about a team that's in the Final Four, right? And then obviously you play another huge rival game that's going to have emotion. And then somehow we're on the road at an Arkansas State team that we know is super talented. That's the first quarter of our football season. And it's going to take everything we got.
College football is here now, and it's here to stay. That was week 0, so 14 more weeks of the season, and then, we're into it.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting into that fall sports season. I mean, you like the football, I like the baseball.
Hey, I like baseball too.
Baseball's great. The baseball playoffs are always...
Majority of people might prefer football now coming. That's all I'm saying.
You know, kind of, now it's America's pastime or whatever. But yeah, for Iowa State, I mean, you know, that's why we play the games, right? I mean, maybe the competitors would probably say that we want that challenge, right?
And everyone looks forward to that Iowa game, which is in 2 weeks, and that will be in Ames as well. So we'll see what Iowa team comes out on top there.
Yeah, that should be a fun one. All right, thanks, Nick. Well, we will wrap up the show right after this in a couple of minutes with our meteorologist Brian James giving us the final look at his forecast on our Quad Cities News at 5:30.
Continues on Local
Here's
4.
one more look at the forecast. If you are headed out for this evening, nothing to worry about. Clear sky. Temperatures will be in the upper 60s this evening, upper 50s by 11 o'clock. A little cool by tomorrow morning. Down the low 50s. Yes, there will be some upper 40s in the area overnight tonight. You see upper 40s to right around 50 for the region tonight. Northwest winds light, about 5 to 10 miles an hour, but a clear sky. Look what's coming up over the next 10 days. Not much is going to change. Looking at a mix of upper 70s to around 80 for most of the week ahead. Coolest tomorrow and Tuesday, then pleasant for the rest of the week. Back to you.
Thank you, Brian James. That's our meteorologist. Well, when loving nature takes on a competitive edge, contestants around the world have a hug-in for a world crown. Finland loves its forests, and apparently so do these nature lovers, competing for the 2025 World Tree Hugging Championships in Levi, Finland. Tree hugging isn't just a one-hug-fits-all thing. There's 3 categories: speed hugging, with numbers of trees hugged in 60 seconds, dedication hugging, the most dedicated single hug on a tree, and freestyle, the most creative hug. These are the winners right here. The dad, auntie, and little Matty, I don't know if I'm saying those names right, but they scored 42.5 points in all 3 categories. Great video. This is just great video here. Just like it's a bunch of hugging going on. Just she had her little warm-up walk over there.
I think I could win this though.
We all have like their own. It's like everyone has their own pitching, way that they pitch or batting stance or something.
And she's skipping up to it.
Oh, that's great. That's a great video there. And there's the crown right there.
There you go.
And finally, before we go, also in Finland, we meet some guitar heroes. Check this out.
You guys ready for air guitar?
The Air Guitar World Championships from Finland. They've been doing it since 1996. People from 13 countries competing for glory, but there can only be one. The first Finnish air guitars, Apo the Angus Rautio, sprung his way right here to the World Championship title. It's the first time someone from the home country won since 2000. Contestants are judging the performance of 2 songs in 2 separate rounds. They each last 60 seconds.
Wow.
Talk about good video.
What a time to be alive in Finland.
That's right. It's been a very important week for them. All right, well, hey, this is our air guitar moment right here. That's it for us. Thanks for watching. We're back here at 10 o'clock on CBS.